Assalamualaikum and good night, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome again to BAITUL MAQDIS Talks every Sunday night, live on HALUAN TV. Inshallah, my name is Omar Ismail. I'm airing live from Kota Baru, Kelantan. And tonight is a very special night for me, especially because, first thing first, because we are talking about interesting topic that is Masjid Al-Aqsa versus the Solomon Temple. Okay, this is actually the then, and I believe this tonight will be a very informative night from our speakers, inshallah. And again, I'm very delighted tonight to have tag with my uh, good brothers, with my Palestinian brothers. That is Sheikh Ziyad Shahada. He is the head of head of a public relation department and from Palestinian Cultural Organization Malaysia, or PCOM. Assalamualaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good.
Alhamdulillah. I'm very delighted to have you tonight because last time I'm having a good session with Dr. Sharif Abu Shamala, and tonight with you, Dr. Sheikh Ziyad.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, inshallah, we will having a good discussion tonight, inshallah, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. And before we are starting our session, I would like to invite all of you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, to leave a like. Okay, just click a like, and then most importantly, you click share button over there. Okay, the share button, you are invited to click that. And if you are comfortable to tag your friends and families that you believe they love the HALUAN TV show tonight, inshallah, you can tag them, so no problem. And if you don't have a Facebook application, you can watch it live in YouTube channel. Okay, so just go to www.youtube.com/HALUAN and you will find this video airing live tonight, inshallah. And Sheikh Ziyad, inshallah, we will having a few questions. I will ask Sheikh Ziyad a few questions, and Sheikh Ziyad will answer the question briefly or maybe thoroughly. And I think I will take one question from the audience that maybe I asking in the third or fourth round, depending on time we have. And inshallah, Sheikh Ziyad, and I think we can start, inshallah. We can start immediately, inshallah, for the question. And Sheikh Ziyad, inshallah, I have the question. The first question is, usually I will ask about the history, because Masjid Al-Aqsa is the third most holiest masjid in the world. But unfortunately, it has no sovereignty compared to Masjid Al-Haram and Masjid Nabawi. And none of us shall visit the Masjid Al-Aqsa unless we have to go through the Zionis occupation, meaning that every visitor outside the BAITUL MAQDIS, sometimes we have to ask the permission from the Zionis. It may seem that we ask from the Palestinian Authority, but the real thing is we did ask for the Zionist occupation. So, what is the history about the Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Sharif, Sheikh? And maybe you can tell us when it was built and why all the Muslims around the world are obliged to join the force to free Masjid Al-Aqsa. Please, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you again, brothers and sisters. And
Sallallahu. Sheikh, please excuse me. The audience said there's no sound. Can you let me give me around 5 seconds because I want to ask the producer to check for us. Oh yeah, Taufik. Okay, you can continue. Sorry, Sheikh. Please.
Now, okay, the sound is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would like to clarify one issue because there's ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ, mean they raised the foundations of Al-Kaaba. But actually, the ulama said, Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam just renovated Al-Kaaba. The first establishment of the building was during Adam alayhi salam era. Many scholars agree with this opinion, like Al-Tabari, Al-Razi, Al-Qurtubi, Al-Nasa'i, Al-Imam Al-Baghawi, and other scholars. So this is a small summary of the history of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. We can summarize that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa and Al-Masjid Al-Haram, those two masjid, the first mosques on the earth, which built by Adam alayhi salam. The first one, Masjid Al-Haram, after 40 years, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Now the other questions, why Muslim forced to free Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa? You asked me this question also.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe actually Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, we have to understand many issues, and this is a good chance to explain and take our time to clarify and highlight this issue. Now, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, we have first to believe Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is part of our aqidah, our faith. So if we are Muslims and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in Al-Quran which mentioned to Al-Isra and Al-Mi'raj, سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى. So Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa already in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. This means it's part of our aqidah. Also, as we have, as Muslims, we have Iman that Al-Hajj to Al-Kaaba is one of the pillars of Islam. So we believe, like we believe Al-Hajj to Al-Kaaba, so we believe Prophet Muhammad has a journey from Al-Kaaba to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, and this, like the importance of Al-Kaaba, same importance and significance of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So now, as a Muslims, we know and see that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, which is part of our Aqidah, our Islam, is under occupation. So this is a mandatory and wajib to defend, wajib and mandatory for all Muslims to return this masjid to Islam, to the Muslims, to be under Islamic control. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, mounts are not saddled for except, mean if you want to travel, you cannot travel except to 3 masjids: Al-Masjid Al-Haram, the Masjid Nabawi, and Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So most of ulama said the freedom of Palestine is wajib by all Muslims in the world. It's not a Palestinian issue. It's not a national issue. It's an Islamic issue. Since long time, when the Israeli occupied Palestine, the Yahudi occupied Palestine, they want the issue to be actually an internal issue. So they ask first the Muslims to give up and ask them, don't take care of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. This is not your business. This is the Palestinians. Then after a few years, they ask the Arab countries and ask them why you take care and you are interested in the Palestinian issue. This is not your issue. This is only internal issue. Now they want the issue to be only between Israelis and Palestinians, like 2 nations or 2 groups just fight each other, and after a while they will reach to agreement and everything will be solved. No, we want all Muslims in all over the world to understand this is issue in Al-Quran, issue since Prophet Adam, since Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and until Yawm al-Qiyamah will be the issue of Muslims, and this is part of Islam. And everyone say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah and embrace Islam, supposed to take care and be interested in this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh. And I believe you deliberately described the importance, the history of Al-Aqsa, and even though today Al-Aqsa still has no sovereignty, which we are not free to visit. Even you going back to, you are not freely went to the masjid. You have to get through the checkpoint. You have to get to check ID check and what's not. And this is not the nature of we are going to masjid. It's not like that, okay? Because we should be, everyone in the world, in Muslim, should be free to go to the masjid without any barriers, any obstacles. And Sheikh, also you also described why we should join the force. We should embrace the struggle to free the Al-Aqsa, because this is issue about Aqidah. Because and even Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioning you should not travel in the world except you visiting these 3 mosques, these 3 masajid, inshallah. But we can go to the first 2 masajid, the Masjid Al-Haram and Masjid Nabawi, but not the 3rd one. Not even though someone claiming that they managed to visit the Al-Aqsa, but believe me, they are not as easy as they thought, because there's someone get the hardship to get them to the Masjid Al-Aqsa. But we should enable ourselves to go there without paying anything, without asking, being checked ID or anything. Sure, thank you very much. But my question number two is because when most of us when we are being mentioning Masjid Al-Aqsa, we may recall the structure of Kubah al-Sakhra, the dome of rock. And can you describe briefly some highlighted places of Al-Aqsa compound? Because I believe when I look at the map of the Masjid Al-Aqsa, it's not just the dome of rock. It is a huge compound where you contain of small masajids inside there, and you can pray everywhere, even at around the compound, the open air compound is still considered as praying in the Masjid Al-Aqsa. So how actually Masjid Al-Aqsa look when it was first built? Because you mentioned that it is believed to be since Adam alayhi salam, and what has been added to the later of Muslim Khalifa, such as Sultan Nuruddin Al-Zanki or maybe Sultan Sulaiman Qanuni to the masjid, inshallah. Can you describe, can you enlighten us, Sheikh? Thank you.
Okay. I would like to ask my brother to open the picture, which is called the Final English.
Yes.
This picture can show us the whole area of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Yeah, actually, because the first build was during Adam alayhi salam, so there's no maps or details of the building, how it was. But what we believe, everything regarding Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is inside the wall. If you open the picture, we will show you the wall, which is called the Great Wall of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. This wall is surrounded the holy place. So everything inside the wall is considered Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. We cannot talk about one building is called Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, but this area, all this area, which is 144,000 meters square, this area all is a holy place. Maybe in some areas, which is eldest, and some area a little bit new, but all the area is considered a holy place. So in this area, I can talk about many details, but we just wait for the picture to be here available. I would like to mention that there is a lot of mosques and musalla, which is surahs, inside the area. There is a lot of gates and dunes, many sabil, this water you can drink from this. There is a lot of pulpits, many platforms. So all these details, because the place is very holy for Muslims. So since Adam until today, everyone from the sultans and the leaders, presidents, everyone want to leave like a fingerprint or some archaeological monument in this area. We can mention about the addition made by Abdul Malik bin Marwan. This is during the Umayyad era.
Yes.
Which the Abdul Malik bin Marwan, who built the Dome of the Rock. Before that, there is no Dome of the Rock, but there is already Al-Masjid Al-Qibli, which is the southern masjid. There is another musalla. It's called Al-Musalla Al-Marwani. This is underground. You cannot see Al-Musalla Al-Marwani until you step down. There's a many stairs. You have to go down and see Al-Musalla Al-Marwani, which is built by Marwan ibn Abd al-Malik. Until the Ottoman era, I believe one of the greatest renovation and restoration made by Sultan Sulaiman. Sultan Sulaiman, as the riwayah and the story said, Sulaiman, Sultan Sulaiman Al-Qanuni, the Magnificent, he saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in his dream. And the Prophet Muhammad in his dream asked him to take care of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. After this, he paid a lot of money and add a lot of great efforts inside this area. He built many sabil, he built a dome of Sulaiman, sabil of Sulaiman, and Sulaiman built also the great wall surrounded Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, which is a very, very great wall. In some area, the height of this wall is reached sometimes to 20 meters. You can imagine how 20-meter wall surrounded Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So everything inside Al-Masjid considered Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. For example, let me give you some statistics.
Yes.
In Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the area, there are four minarets for Azan for Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. The total number of gates in the walls of Al-Aqsa Mosque is 14 gates. 10 opened and 4 closed. Closed by Yahudi, absolutely. Inside the Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa area, there are 14 domes. Not only the Dome of the Rock. This is the biggest one and the amazing one. In architectural side, the Dome of the Rock is considered like a miracle because the very details inside the room, the decoration, everything engraved precisely. There are 7 mosques and musalla in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. There are 32 water sources inside Al-Aqsa Mosque, 2 pools, 8 sabils, 20 wells, all these to provide water inside Al-Aqsa Mosque for the Muslims who want to perform wudu and drink. There's many pulpits. One of the amazing one is added by Nuruddin Zinki. Nuruddin Zinki in 1168. Actually, he built an amazing pulpit to be placed inside Al-Aqsa Mosque after liberation. At that time, he built it in Damascus, but he built it to be sent to Palestine after the liberation. But unfortunately, he died beforehand. When Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi liberate Palestine and BAITUL MAQDIS, he shipped Nuruddin Zinki pulpit from Aleppo and placed it in the Qibli Mosque. We can't talk many about the details of architecture, but what I want to summarize here, that everyone wants to have a good reputation of the sultans. He do something to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa because all of the sultans believed that this is the area of barakah, of rizki, of everything good. So they try to do something, whether renovation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, or add new elements to Al-Masjid. So this area, which is 144,000 meters square, this is a very rich area. And we believe too that it's a lot of layers. We can see this area, we can see this above the ground, but there's another layers down. So all these made by Muslims to keep this place in the Muslims' hearts. Thank you, sir.
MashaAllah, very thoroughly explanation by Sheikh Ziyad regarding the structures of Al-Aqsa. But inshallah, maybe one day we will having a good discussion about the good detail of the structures of Al-Aqsa, because I believe a few months back we did have HALUAN. We did have some short course about the issues of BAITUL MAQDIS, where we studied some the name of the doors, Babur Rahmah and other doors. And Alhamdulillah, Sheikh mentioning us there are 7 musalla, which is huge. It is a huge compound of Al-Aqsa. And then there's a Masjid Qibli, and there's a Wall. Yes, I believe the wall where the Prophet go to the Sidratul Muntaha, Sheikh?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay.
At that wall, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam keep the animals who take him from Al-Kaaba and go to the heathens.
Inshallah. And inshallah, because this is the most important history for a Muslim to believe that because of the Isra wal Mi'raj, we are obliged with as-salah 5 times a day. And there's many more to the history, inshallah. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters who are just joining us tonight, I am with my fellow brothers, Dr. Sheikh Ziyad Shahada. He is the head of the public relation for PCOM. PCOM is stand for Palestinian Cultural Organization Malaysia. I believe if you want more information, you can just go to their Facebook, www.facebook.com/PCOM or Palestinian Cultural Organization Malaysia. And there is much information there because they are quite an active society of Palestinian in Malaysia. And I would like to ask you, if you and brothers and sisters, if you're interested to get more of your friends and families to view this video live, you can click the share button so that they can view live tonight, inshallah. But don't worry, if you didn't make it time to watch this tonight, the video will be there on HALUAN Facebook and also the YouTube channel, inshallah. And Sheikh, I would like to ask the audience, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if you have question to us regarding the Al-Aqsa, about the topic we are discussing tonight, you are free to write in the Facebook, the comment section in the Facebook, as well as the comment section in the YouTube. Inshallah, I will try my best to reach the question for you to ask to our guest tonight, inshallah. And we come back to the Sheikh, which I have a question. The third question will be the controversial one, because this question is regarding the Zionist occupation on Masjid Al-Aqsa, because there's a time where the late Ariel Sharon stormed to the Masjid Al-Aqsa with his goons, with some Yahudi, with some Jewish settlers, and claiming that one day this Masjid Al-Aqsa will become the temple. And what they say temple is a temple of Solomon, because what the Jewish believe, it was the temple in the first place, not the masjid. My question is, the Christian and also the Jews also claiming Al-Aqsa for their sacred place, especially modernist Zionists who claim Masjid Al-Aqsa is the site for Temple of Solomon or Haikal Sulaiman. My question is, does the temple really exist? Is it true what they are claiming? And can you briefly just explain why the Christian and the Jews, the Zionists especially, are also claiming the Holy Land of BAITUL MAQDIS? What are their agenda? Please share.
Okay. Actually, we have to differentiate between Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa and Al-Quds as a city. If we talk about the city, Al-Quds city, BAITUL MAQDIS, it's a city. So there's a lot of churches, which is very old and even before Islam. So the Christian can claim about this because those are already founded long time ago. And but for Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the Christians don't claim about this because most of the Christians in Palestine, the Palestinian Christians, also suffer from the Yahudi actions every day. So actually, our problem is not with the Christians. Our problem with the Jews, and let me say not Jews, the Zionis, because the problem between the Palestinians, not between Palestinians and Jews as a religion, but between us and the Zionism, which those came to Palestine and they want to kill the Palestinians and expel the families and take the land to them. Let me explain one by one. The first, about the Haikal Sulaiman, or the Solomon temple. Actually, I read many books about this, and the Yahudi believe so because the Yahudi in their books believe that during Nabi Sulaiman builds a temple for the Jews. This is in 521 before Christ. So this is even before Islam. 521 before Christ, even before the Christianity. And later on, the temple was destroyed by the Babylon leader, which is called Nosor. And then the temple built again and destroyed by Roman. If they said about that, supposed to have any evidence, this is buildings, so we believe they lie. So I read a lot of books and a lot of details, but the majority of them believe there is no exist of any temples. Nothing. It's like a fiction story. They create the story and they believe so, but nothing on the ground. It's like promise. Someone promised them to build, but nothing on the ground. Since 1948, when Palestine was occupied by Yahudi, and also after the 1965, after they occupied BAITUL MAQDIS, so far they dig a lot. They make a lot of investigation. They have a lot of tunnels below Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak. They did a lot of efforts to prove that they have a right and they have a building of Sulaiman temple or Solomon temple. But so far they didn't find anything, and we believe they will not find anything. Well, they have a lot of story which is created by their leaders. So we believe nothing is called Solomon temple, and this is only a lie, and they just create the story. Nothing on the ground. So there is no evidence. We believe it's a false allegation. But actually, I have another addition. about this issue. Now, for the temple, nothing. But we can ask those people also, if anybody came to land for a few years, does he have the right to say this is my land? You know, any land in this earth, on the earth, any land can be occupied by different nations, and a lot of people came and lived for like 100, 200 years, and they go to another land, because at that time everyone come to the land for a few years and go. The Jews stay in Palestine, according to some historical references. They stayed in Palestine almost 400 years only. Why? While the original people lived thousands of years. So those Yahudi came to Palestine for almost 400 years and they fled away. But the original people lived thousands of years before Yahudi and after Yahudi. One more point, that the problem, as I mentioned before, the problem is not with the Jews. The problem with the Palestinians and Zionis who want to kill the Palestinians. I would like to add another point. Maybe some people don't know that the Palestinians, the original Palestinians, have different religions. So in Palestine, even before the occupation, the majority Muslims, but we have Christians. Even we have small peoples, or maybe like one tribe in Palestine, are Jews. So those are Palestinians also. They don't accept the Zionists. So we have different, because we live in a holy land which accept all religions. So we have Muslims, the majority. We have Christians, and we have a minority of Jews. But since 1948, once the Zionists came and occupied Palestine, they destroyed everything. They killed Muslims, they killed Christians, and they killed even the Palestinian Jews, because all of them together refused and rejected the occupation of Palestine. So once we heard about this, we have to understand the difference between the Jews as a religion, those just practice their ibadah in the temples, up to them. But once they come and killed us and occupied our countries, and even prevent us to pray, prevent us to practice our daily life. So here is the problem, and this which impose us and press on the Palestinians to have resistance and have what is called jihad against the Zionists. Thank you, brother.
Actually, I kind of want to hear more from Sheikh Ziad, because his point is so much informative, and I really like to hear more points from him, inshallah. But Sheikh Ziad, inshallah, and as we discussing this topic tonight, inshallah, and I believe that there's one point when the Zionists came to the last Ottoman Khalifa, Sultan Abdul Hamid. They came and they tried to buy the Palestine land. They tried to buy by offering a huge sum of money, but the Sultan rejected all the offers. I think this scene also being portrayed in the I think one of the drama being shown in Netflix. I think so, and I forgot the topic, showing how they negotiate with the Sultan to buy the land. But Sultan, there's Abdul Hamid quote the most famous word that Wallahi, this land belongs to the Ummah. I will not sell this land even in an inch. something like that. I don't remember the exact line when he said to the Zionists. But then when in 1948, when the Zionism start to being a cancer to the Holy Land, and now look at us now. We're not really free, and then the nearest inhabitant to the Masjid also, even though their house is nearby, just beside the masjid, they also cannot freely go. And and in some occasion, I saw some use of the Palestine. They bring the very long ladder. They put on the wall, and then they start to climb to get to the masjid. And meanwhile, there's one section in the Masjid Al-Aqsa, the wall that being used by the Jews, the Zionists especially, to wail, to crying, to pray. Can you tell us? Can you briefly describe to us why this the only point being used by the Zionists to cry, to pray, to read the Talmud or whatever it is, the Wailing Wall? Can you describe to us what this is all about? Why the Zionists so interested to that wall?
Actually, this wall is the same wall which is called in Islam the wall of Buraq or Al-Buraq wall. We believe this is the place that Prophet Muhammad bought the animal who carried Prophet Muhammad from Al-Kaaba, from Mecca to Masjid Al-Aqsa. But in the Yahudi religion, they believe this is the wall that you can write your sins and any problems you did, and you can write down in a small paper and put it in the wall. And they pray, do everything, and they go. After this, someone come and take everything, and the next day they go, and they believe that like Allah came and take this paper, and Allah will forgive the sins that they did. So this is kind of the practices of the Yahudi, but absolutely it's a holy wall for Muslims. So most of the struggle and the problems did inside the Masjid Al-Aqsa because of this wall. The Yahudi take the wall, but we believe this is related to Muslims. It's a part of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak. So actually we see last time even some leaders like Trump, like other leaders, once they go and visit Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, they go to this wall. Once they want to say, we support Yahudi, we are with Yahudi, so they go to this Yahudi monument, this is a famous place in the Yahudi religious. So they go through this part of this religion, but we don't care about this. We care and we believe this is related to us. So we have to liberate this wall like the rest of the Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak.
Inshallah, thank you very much, Sheikh Ziad. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if you keen and interested to ask a question to our guest tonight, Dr. Sheikh Ziad Shahada, and I would like to welcome you so to do by leaving the question on the comment section below, and the producer will read for me, and I will ask the Sheikh, inshallah. But last but not least, I have an important question to ask to you, Sheikh, because there are many various sources, news and reports pertaining the threats of Zionist occupation on the Masjid Al-Aqsa, because they are digging the tunnel underneath the Al-Aqsa to weaken the structure. And this is actually a serious matter, because if they keep on doing this, and one day we will see how Al-Aqsa just collapsing like that. And we are not willing, we are not ready to this to happen. So maybe Sheikh, you can enlighten to us what is your finding about this threat, and what you want to know the information, any information you want to convey to us so that we can be more firm in defending our Al-Aqsa. Share.
Jazakallah khair. Right now, there are a lot of threats which the Palestinians, especially those who live in BAITUL MAQDIS, they are suffering daily. But I would like to mention about the threats that the Palestinians in BAITUL MAQDIS suffer. I can divide this into two parts, direct and indirect. This is like some of the updated information of the daily life of the Palestinian in BAITUL MAQDIS. Most of them, because the city of Al-Quds is considered a small size, so most of them live around Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So they can just walk in to have 5 prayers, but unfortunately they couldn't do so. The direct threats is the closing of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Maybe you pray Zuhr, but you cannot pray Asr. Maybe you pray today, but cannot pray tomorrow. The second is prevent Azan. The Yahudi can prevent the Azan. So maybe you hear Azan, Zuhr, you cannot hear another Azan. Breaking into Al-Masjid. Sometimes, suddenly, when the Muslims praying, like Salat Maghrib or Salat Subuh, suddenly a lot of Israeli armies break into Al-Masjid, and maybe they will take someone, maybe they just want to destroy something, want to arrest some people during the Salah. This is direct. Also, they allowed some tourists to get into the courts of Al-Masjid. So you can imagine you just pray inside the hall of Al-Masjid, and suddenly you go outside, but still in the mosque, to the courtyards of mosque, and you find tourists from Europe, out here, what they do inside Al-Masjid. Maybe they sometimes do something wrong, which is not logic to be inside the mosque. This is direct threats. But there's another threats which is indirect. Maybe we cannot see this in the news, and sometimes we cannot see this, we cannot hear about this among our friends. Like they prevent the renewal of the ID. Like if you have, for example, the Palestinians, those in Al-Quds, they have passports or they have ID, they go after a few years to renew, but they reject to renew. This means they want to expel them outside. If you don't have ID, so you have to go to another place, because now you are illegal. So this is a problem. They aim to evacuate the area from the Arab and from the Muslims. They, for example, they don't give a permission for build any house. Even if you have land, you want to build a house, they didn't give you permission. Even if you have an old building, which is considered heritage, like built before 200-300 years, they want to renovate the house. They didn't allow you to bring materials to do so, because they want you. Between time to time, they offer those people who live around them. They offer them to sell Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, to sell their houses, and even they sometimes I see this. They go to some people who stay around Al-Masjid and they ask them to sell their house. Absolutely, they reject. How to give them a good offer? They ask them, just give them a check, which is empty check, and they ask them to write whatever they want. You can imagine, they ask them to put any numbers, even 100 million, no problem. But they reject also. blackmailing people during the work or medical treatment, pressuring them to provide information, to be spy. So for example, once you go for medical treatment and you go for work, they stop you and they didn't give you a permission to work or to have any medication. So once you ask the Palestinians in BAITUL MAQDIS, ask the Yahudi to give them permission, they ask them to give information. They want them to be spy. So all these are very, very high risk for the Palestinians. They stop the services of the Palestinians over there. So actually, for those Palestinians who live there, we have to support them. We have to be with them. We have to update ourselves in the information. We have to know everything about this issue. As we mentioned before, this is the Islam issue. So if you give me a time, I would like to talk about the efforts or what's the rules of Muslims outside Palestine, what they have to do towards the Palestinians inside Palestine. If you have time, I would like to mention about some important points. Once we heard about this risk and challenges, the daily hard life of those Palestinians, I would like to clarify this issue. Those Palestinians in BAITUL MAQDIS, they can sell their properties in millions dollars, and they can take those millions and go to Europe, to America, to any other countries, and they can have a lot of buildings over there, and we will be rich. But they don't do this because of the aqidah of Islam. It's haram to do this. This is a kind of jihad fi sabilillah. So what's the role of Muslims toward the issue? What they have to do? I can summarize this in a few points. What we have to do as our brothers in Malaysia or other countries, what they have to do. The first, I recommend to read and learn more about Al-Aqsa Mosque, to raise the awareness among the friends and community. We have to know everything about Palestine. Once we know more, we will do more. But once we don't know the details of the issue, maybe we cannot defend or we cannot convince anyone to continue their support. The second, I have to mention to this hadith first, to see once Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever among us you sees an evil, he must change it with his hand. If he is unable to do so, then with his tongue. And if he is unable to do so, then with his heart. And that is the weakness of faith. Now we see the dangers of Yahudi. The Yahudi is evil. The Zionist is evil. So once we see this, we have to change. This Prophet Muhammad said, once you see this evil thing, you have to change. Now, if we cannot change by our hand, like we in Malaysia, we cannot change by hand, but we cannot change by, we can change by tongue. How to change by tongue and how to change in our heart. We don't want to go to the heart because the heart is the weakness.
Yes.
But we can do by tongue. How to do by tongue? We can go through the media.
Yes.
We can support the Palestinian right through the media. Everyone has social media, has Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If he can share, post, comment, do things every day to support the Palestinian issue, how we can publicize the issue. We can do a very big propaganda against the propaganda did by the Jews. Also, we have to make a financial support to Palestine. Our brothers in Palestine is struggle to live and stay in BAITUL MAQDIS. They have a lot of difficulties. They have a very hard daily life. I see and know a lot of Palestinians. Already the Yahudi closed their shops. Now, for example, in Malaysia, we can see how is the MCO.
Yes.
But in Palestine, in BAITUL MAQDIS, they have, even before Corona, they have like MCO.
Yes.
They close the markets of Palestinians. All those have business, most of them closed by Yahudi. So once we see those, the people, those have business already, the business down and the Yahudi closed their shops, we have to support them to stay in BAITUL MAQDIS. Otherwise, they will go. If all the Palestinians have a very financial, very low financial support, at the end, maybe they will leave. Once they leave, mean the aim of Yahudi to evacuate the city already done. No more Muslims, no more Arab. BAITUL MAQDIS now will be only Jewish city. We don't want to do so. One more point is our dua. This is also changed by tongue. Our dua. We have every day, we have 5 Salat Fardu. So we can make dua for the Palestinians. We can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to liberate Palestine, to preserve BAITUL MAQDIS from the Israeli brutality. We have many things, but I try to summarize before all the time. I would like to conclude by to recommend our brothers in Malaysia to participate in the activities of Palestine. Now HALUAN do a very great efforts to support Palestine. So we need you to continue, and we need other NGOs and all our brothers to continue this approach to raise the issue and to participate, and all the other brothers to participate in the activities done by the NGOs. We want the issue to be live, the issue to be daily issue. Like the daily suffering of Palestine, we need the daily issue to be raised in Malaysia and other Muslim countries. Jazakallahu khairan.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh Dr. Ziad Shahada, for his thought and his opinion about the threats which is happening now, the threats of this Yahudi, and also I would like to remind, because last time I asked Dr. Sharif about the normalization of this occupation of the Palestine, which I think a few years ago I met a group of Malaysian Muslim that went there from Jordan and went to the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And what saddened me is there is some Muslim taking selfie picture with this Zionis IDF, yeah? The guard who control the entrance of they take a picture together and saying that this guard's not harsh like you always claim to the Palestine. They're very friendly. They welcome us with smile. And then there's one ustad conducting a live video in the Facebook and saying that look at Al-Aqsa compound. Nothing. There's no riot. There's no ruckus. Nothing. It's all propaganda by the Palestinian to tell that Masjid Al-Aqsa is in danger. It's really heartbreaking me because they when they come to as a tourist, like the Sheikh mentioned, the Europe tourists, they will not seeing this aggression of this IDF or what I got from the Zionist side. They only see all the good thing. There's nothing, no fighting, no provocation. But I bet you, if you went there and staying there for a week, and then you will witness everything. Even Sheikh, I believe when Sheikh Dr. Ziad want to go there, they will immediately decline your entrance, I believe. Or maybe they allow me because I'm not Arab look. I don't have Arab look yet. Maybe. And inshallah, sorry, what happened? Taufik. Just other sound. Okay, no problem. Sorry, because there's a interruption there. And inshallah, and I would like to thank again Dr. Jack because for this for being with us tonight. And I believe I tried to go through this Facebook and YouTube. Brother Taufik, we get any question tonight? Okay. Yeah, but never mind. If there is no question, inshallah, I believe everything. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I believe you understand most of the content delivered by our guest tonight, inshallah. And I would like to also campaign to you because, inshallah, and I would like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, HALUAN also conducting iftar in Masjid Al-Aqsa, where we provide iftar meal for during the Ramadan. Every year we providing there, so you can look at our website to the detail and reports www.haluan.org.my, and there's somewhere inside the website you just use the search engine to find the report from the Palestine. And also Sheikh Ziyad, inshallah, you can look for the information in the PCOM website, the Palestinian Cultural Organization Malaysia, and they also have a website, and I believe they did have a active Facebook account, so you can check it out and follow like button, inshallah. And I think that's all for tonight. And thank you very much, Dr. Ziyad. I wish I can meet you again in person. Please come to Kelantan again, inshallah. We believe everyone in Kelantan miss you so much, Dr. Ziyad.
Jazakallah khairan, barakallah fikum. Inshallah, one day after the MCU, inshallah, we will come to visit you in Kelantan.
Inshallah, and all the members in HALUAN, I believe they want to see, and maybe we can have a special discussion about Al-Aqsa in the public in Kelantan, inshallah, and everywhere place in Malaysia, inshallah. And again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, there is the end. We have reached the end of the show tonight, inshallah, and everything that we be showing tonight, inshallah, will be beneficial to you. If they are beneficial to you, alhamdulillah, that's good, and you can spread all the what you hear, what you listen tonight. You can spread to any your friends and family as well. And if there are any drawbacks from us, I'm sorry, I apologize. And inshallah, we will do better, inshallah. And again, if you intend to provide some donations to the Gaza cause, because we have donation for COVID in Gaza, and also for the donation for Halaqah Al-Quran in Gaza. Do check our website www.haluan.org.my, where you can find a small tab, written donation. Just click the tab and you can see all the campaign that are going under HALUAN, inshallah. And again, I'm sorry for everything, for any drawbacks, and I believe, I pray to all of you that one day we can pray in Al-Aqsa together, yeah, Sheikh? Inshallah, we will go to Al-Aqsa together.
Absolutely, after liberation, inshallah.
Yeah, sure. Please make yourself be with the liberation. Don't just witness waiting on the side of the road and just witness everything. Be for the liberation, inshallah. And may Allah always bless you, inshallah. And that's all for tonight. I'm Omar again, inshallah. See you next time in next session in BAITUL MAQDIS Talk. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good night.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.